client recently did a really insightful piece of work, and with her permission, I share the ideas of what we discovered here with you. The situation was her boat dock got flooded. She lives on a lake, and there was a big storm, and the water rose very high, and it damaged the boat. All the furniture in the boat dock was floated away, and it was a big mess. And this happened right after she had hosted a party for like all her family coming from out of town that went on for several days. And in fact, some people stayed even longer because it was easier for their travel arrangements. So normally that party is something she enjoys doing from time to time, but she plans to have rest afterwards and to decompress. And she's an HSP and she knows how to balance herself. But in this case, the storm happened right after that. And so there was no chance to rest. And she just got literally pulled into that storm of trying to capture everything, clean the mud and, recover items and all of that. And so that was the basic situation that she brought to the session. And we used it as an opportunity for doing some inner work. And I used the work of Byron Katie as the process that I use to explore the stressful thoughts that are running in a situation that make it stressful for us. So we looked for a second and tried to figure out what was the thought that was bothering her. And it was kind of an interesting one. It's not your standard thought that you might think to question, but it was what was really coming up strongly for her, which was, nobody was hurt in this storm, so I shouldn't complain. Sound familiar? It sounds like such a good thought. Like, oh, I'm actually being positive. No one's hurt. And, I was really lucky. Like, I'm almost trying to put a positive spin on it. But what was actually happening was that she was using this thought, or her mind was using this thought, to kind of trivialize her own needs for rest. And so as she was going forward in this cleaning process, after this whole party issue, she was just getting more and more exhausted. She was feeling more and more overwhelmed. She was craving time alone. And she was cleaning things, but really not wanting to clean them. She was resenting it as she was cleaning and feeling frustrated by it. So we questioned the thought that, since nobody was hurt, I shouldn't complain. And it was so interesting to see how this thought played a role in her experience. Because she was thinking she shouldn't complain, after all, she wasn't hurt, nobody was hurt, it gave her no recourse for just asking for time out, for pacing herself. And she reacted by just going all out and doing everything against her own will and pushing herself further and further into overwhelm. Interestingly, without the thought, if we imagine, this is question 4 of the work of Byron Katie, who would you be without the thought? She was seeing that if she wasn't thinking that she shouldn't complain just because nobody was hurt, she would be paying more attention to the feelings that she was having, the fatigue that she was feeling. She would be paying more attention to balance in her life, getting good exercise, eating better meals, like balanced, getting enough protein, and then taking rest and having downtime. And so it was the idea that she shouldn't complain that her mind was using to stop her from actually taking care of herself. And we kind of turned it around as she should complain. And now, of course, for people who really complain a lot, this would not be a turnaround. But in her particular situation, it was actually the direction for balance. Instead of trying to hold in her complaints and trying to be good in a way, she's allowed to complain and allowed to hear the feedback that her system was actually sending her. And those are, we can say they're complaints, but they're more like little alarm bells saying, hey, I need some help. I need some rest. I need some balance. And so she should complain. Her body should complain. And it's natural to. And so what really was needed was for her to listen to that and then incorporate that into the way that she approached the situation. What was interesting is when she looked at it, she realized she actually was really good at pacing herself normally. Often after a party like this, she would take a week or two to get things back to normal. She wouldn't try to do it all in one day. She's actually good at it. And that's what's amazing often for us as HSPs is that we do know how to do things intelligently, but we get grabbed by these thoughts that will keep us from paying attention to what we actually know. And so in reality, she should be paying attention to this little complaining voice saying, this is enough. And so just seeing this was really cool to see. Now we looked further, and this is where it gets interesting. Underneath all of this was something more, and that was she had all the furniture and cushions and things out in the yard trying to dry in the sun, and it was kind of a big mess outside. And there was a part of her that was feeling like, I have to get this all fixed before I can rest. In other words, everything should be taken care of, and then I can take care of myself. And this is easy to believe, and it's something that we easily can get pulled into as highly sensitive people because we like to do things well, we like to have things in order, and it's sometimes hard to let it go when things are in process. So we did a little more work on the thought, everything should be taken care of. We questioned that thought, and we saw that with the thought, it's this stress, tense, unable to rest kind of feeling. And without the thought, it's like it all zooms out into perspective. Oh, right, yeah. We will take care of this, but it doesn't have to be done today. And so when we turned it around, it was like so cool the way the turnaround showed up is that I should be taken care of, not just everything, but I should also be taken care of. And this showed immediately where this was needed. And so just taking time off, saying, okay, let's find some blocks of time and do the work during those times, scrub down everything, do what we need to do. And then let's have some blocks of time where we're off duty and we have time to rest, have time to have good meals, have time to sleep, have time to exercise. And so I should be taken care of was the missing piece in the equation when the mind is focused on everything else should be taken care of. The fact is, everything will get taken care of. We, as highly sensitive people, are conscientious by nature. We will take care of things. That's what we do. But we can pace ourselves and do this in a way that we can also take care of ourselves at the same time.